I used to believe hospitals were places of healing. The smell of antiseptic, the soft beeping of monitors, and the clipped voices of nurses always made me think of safety, of professionals keeping the chaos of death at bay. But that belief was shattered one autumn night when I discovered a place that was never meant to be found, the forgotten ward of St. Mark's Hospital. My name is Daniel Mercer. I worked as a night security guard at St. Mark's in the mid-2000s. The job was supposed to be simple: patrol the hallways, check doors, make sure no one wandered in who shouldn't, and keep an eye on the staff parking lot. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid steady and left me plenty of quiet time. At least that's what I thought. St. Mark's was an old hospital. The new wing had been built in the 1980s, modern and sterile, but parts of the original building dated back to the 1920s. High ceilings, peeling paint under layers of beige, and hallways that seemed just a little too long. We were told most of the old sections were closed off after renovations, but I never thought much about it, until the night I stumbled across the locked door at the end of North Wing. It was about 2:30 a.m. I'd finished my usual sweep of the ER entrance when I noticed a light flicker down a hallway I rarely walked. The North Wing was mostly abandoned, sealed off years ago due to structural issues. Still, I figured maybe a bulb was shorting out. Or worse, a patient had wandered down where they shouldn't. I followed the glow, boots echoing against cracked linoleum. At the very end was a steel door I'd never seen open before. Tonight, though, the light leaked from under it, faint but steady. The knob was stiff, but when I pressed, it gave. The door creaked open to reveal a hallway swallowed in shadows, lit only by a single fluorescent bulb buzzing overhead. Dust coated the floor, disturbed only by faint, recent footprints. My radio crackled with static at my hip, though I hadn't touched it. Something about the air inside felt wrong, heavy, like walking into a room where people had been arguing and stopped just before you entered. Still, it was my job to investigate. I stepped through. The air smelled faintly of rot, mixed with something metallic, blood, maybe. My flashlight beam caught faded hospital signage on the wall, Ward C, Psychiatric. I frowned. I'd never heard of a Ward C. St. Mark's had shut down its psychiatric department decades ago. Curious and uneasy, I pressed forward. The hallway twisted deeper than I expected. Rooms lined both sides, their glass windows dark and opaque with grime. Some doors hung open, revealing crumbling beds, overturned trays, and restraints bolted to walls. The silence was absolute, broken only by the buzz of that one bulb far behind me. Every step I took seemed to echo too loud, like the building itself was listening. I almost turned back, until I heard it. A faint whisper, so soft I thought I imagined it. "Daniel?" I froze. No one should know my name. I spun, flashlight beam cutting across peeling paint and shadows, but there was nothing there. Just the long hallway stretching empty. I should have left. God, I wish I had. But something pulled me further in. Curiosity, fear, I don't know. The whisper had come from ahead, so I kept moving, heartbeat pounding in my ears. At the end of the hallway was a set of double doors, glass windows blackened from the inside. A faded placard above them read, "Observation Room." My fingers trembled as I pushed one open. The room beyond was massive, lined with old observation mirrors. Most were cracked or shattered, revealing dark rooms beyond. In the center of the space stood a single hospital bed, restraints dangling from its sides. And on the floor, drawn in something dark and flaking, was a circle covered in strange symbols I didn't recognize. As I stepped inside, my radio screamed with static, loud enough to make me flinch. Through the distortion came fragments of voices, screams, sobs, whispers, all at once. My flashlight flickered violently. Then the bed's restraints clinked, as if something invisible shifted against them. I stumbled back, slamming into one of the mirrors. The glass groaned, but held. My breath fogged the air, and I realized the temperature had plummeted. Then I saw it. Reflected in the cracked glass behind me was a figure. A man in a hospital gown, skin pale and stretched, eyes hollow black pits. His mouth opened, whispering words that didn't match the sounds on my radio. Slowly, impossibly, the figure raised a finger and pointed directly at me. I spun, light slicing through empty air, no one there. But when I looked back at the mirror, the figure had moved closer, inches behind me. Its grin stretched too wide for any human face. I bolted. My boots pounded against the floor, static from the radio screaming louder with every step. The hallway seemed longer now, stretching away like it didn't want to let me go. Behind me, restraints clattered, doors slammed open one by one, though I didn't dare look. That whisper followed, taunting, repeating my name in 100 voices. Finally, I burst through the steel door into the main hospital. The instant I crossed the threshold, the air warmed, the static died, and the hall behind me went dark. When I turned back, the door was sealed tight again, no light leaking from beneath. I never told anyone. I couldn't. Who would believe me? But I stopped working nights at St. Mark's a week later, claiming health reasons. Even now, years later, I dream of that mirror. I see that figure's grin, wider each time. And sometimes, just before I wake, I hear it whisper, "Not yet."